Imagine driving through eastern Washington in the middle of summer. The endless golden wheat fields glowing under the sun, and a slight breeze going through it. You see no sprinklers, no irrigation pipes, just endless fields of wheat swaying in the breeze. It's hard to believe that all this can be grown in such dry land. But that's the beauty of dry land wheat farming in eastern Washington. Slide 2. Hi, my name is Carson Siadal. I'm here to talk about how wheat is farmed in eastern Washington. I'm going to tell you how it is harvested and distributed as well. My family has deep roots there. My grandparents, Alan and Bonnie Stone, have been around living in Harrington for years, and I've been there with them. They have wheat farmed their whole lives, and I've spent summers riding in my grandparents' harvester, learning how everything works. It gave me a real appreciation for how the process of it all goes. Growing something there can be difficult, especially because of how scarce the water can be. I've also researched how farming has changed with technology, and I'm interested in agricultural engineering. Today, I'll go over 3 main things. First, what makes eastern Washington's land perfect for wheat farming? 2, how farmers plant, care, and grow the crop. And 3, how wheat is harvested and distributed throughout the state. Let's start with the land itself. Slide 3. Eastern Washington is famous for its rolling hills and wide open spaces of endless wheat fields. The rolling hills of the Palouse have some of the richest soil in the country. According to Washington State University, the soil there is made of wind-blown silt called loess. It's soft, deep, and great for holding moisture. That's the secret to how wheat can be grown there. The water is stored deep within the soil, and the crops are able to feed off that throughout the summer. Slide 4. Farmers rely on rain and snow in the winter to keep the soil moist enough through the planting season. The hills can help too. They can catch snow during the winter, which slowly melts as it warms up, and it seeps deep into the ground, and it is able to stay there even in the hot summers. The roots of the plants are able to reach down and grab that moisture throughout the year, helping them grow throughout. Slide 5. In Harrington, where my grandparents farm, they use crop rotation. It's a system pretty common across the region, where they plant one year and leave the land to follow, or just give it some time. Doing this allows soil to recover and store up moisture for the next year. Growing wheat out there isn't just about skill, but patience and faith. When rain doesn't come, or the summer is hotter than expected, farmers have to trust in the land and keep working. My grandpa told me, the Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. And he stuck by that, working the land year after year, putting in hard work. Slide 6. Now that you understand the land, let's move to how farms actually plant and care for their crops. Wheat planting usually starts in the fall, and farmers use special machines called no-till drills that help plant the seeds deep within the soil without turning it over. This helps keeps moisture locked in the ground and helps keep carbon stored down there as well. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, no-till farming is important for soil health and keeping carbon locked down. In eastern Washington, where it's dry, making sure you can maintain as much moisture in the soil as possible is extremely important. After planting, farmers need to fertilize and use herbicides on the field to stop weeds from stealing the nutrients. Timing matters a lot. Planting too early and you can kill the crop. Too late and it can die from the weeds. Slide 7. Back when my parents were more active on the farm, everything done was with older tractors and smaller combines. They didn't have GPS, sensors, or automatic steering like they do now. In fact, the new family who leases the land from them do use all this new technology. Their combines can track yields, they can use the GPS to keep their lines straight, and the sensors help decide where to add more fertilizer. It's crazy to see how far things have come. Even with all that tech though, farmers still take long days. Careful watch of the crop is important, and a lot of prayer for good weather. Technology helps, but that doesn't replace the farmer's judgment or the lessons learned over generations. Slide 8. Now that we've talked about planting and caring for the crop, let's get to the most exciting part, or should I say my favorite part, the harvest. Harvest season usually starts late July and goes through August. When the wheat turns golden and the heads start to droop, that's when you know it's ready. According to the U.S. Wheat Association, most of the wheat in eastern Washington is soft white winter wheat, which is prized for its baking like pastries and noodles. Farmers use huge combines to harvest. These machines can cut the wheat and sort the chaff from the grain, all in one pass. It's hard to imagine how these massive combines really work until you're up next to one. My grandpa used to let me sit in the cab with him. As we rolled across the fields for hours, the hills were steep and the combines were built with special systems to keep them steady, even on the slopes. Once the wheat is collected, it's hauled to grain elevators, large storage facilities where the grain is kept dry and safe from the weather. From there, it's shipped by rail, or barge to ports in Seattle and Tacoma, before being exported all over the world. According to Washington Grain Commission, they report that over 80% of Washington's grain is exported. This shows just how important the wheat farming is to not just Washington, but globally. Slide 9. Even with modern tools, harvest time still has that same old rhythm. Early mornings, long days, and deep hope for good weather. You'll see families, neighbors, and churches helping each other out. There's always prayer for safety and good yields, and it's a good reminder that even with all our progress, farming still connects us with God's creation and to each other. Slide 10. To wrap it up, we've looked at Eastern Washington, how its land is special for dryland farming, how farmers plant and care for the wheat, and how it's harvested and shipped across the world. When I think of my grandparents' fields in Harrington, I don't just see wheat. I see generations of hard work through tough seasons and answered prayers. Farming isn't easy, but it's rewarding, and that's the way that it goes, and that's how rewarding it goes, far beyond the harvest. Thank you.